All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us here in this unique surroundings. We will say this is quite a new treat for all of us. We have for the last 16, we're in our 16th year. We've always been in the ballroom, and they've been doing construction, so they had us come out here, and it's quite a cozy little space. Speaking of cozy, our two shows today deal with actually two sets of roommates living in two very snug apartments. So this really, we thought we'd do like live four-dimensional theater radio now. And in fact, it may be true that blondes actually may have more fun, but they are quite clever. And in fact, they can solve some of the simplest problems or even the most complex problems. Now, of course, in the golden age of radio, sometimes the solutions that they come up with aren't always the best way to go. But a case in point, in My Friend Irma and her roommate Jane have discovered that Jane's boyfriend might be spending time with an attractive redhead that now works for him. A jealous and jilted Jane sets about writing him a letter to end their relationship. And once the letter is sent, it turns out things may not be all that they seem. And in fact, now Jane must get the letter back, or even more problems will arise. But fear not, for Jane and Irma have set about another plan to solve the problem. The question is, will Jane be able to get to sleep in time? Doesn't make sense? Don't worry. It will when you hear the whole story. And of course, then there's Meet Millie. The story of Millie and her mother, who share also a snug apartment together, and their problem, the rent has gone up, and they don't have enough money to cover. The solution, take in a boarder. But perhaps that is also not quite as easy as it seems, because first they have to interview potential tenants, and it turns out that they may have to open their parameters just a little bit. But when they finally find the perfect boarder, it turns out there's something wrong with him. Something dangerously wrong with him. And you wouldn't even, it's a delicate danger, yes. And you wouldn't even expect it at first. Wonder what that could be? Well, you'll find out as we take you on our journey to recreate our shows that first aired back in the golden age of radio. Now, while you are listening, you might want to close your eyes and pretend you are sitting in front of the old Philco radio, anxiously awaiting to see your favorite performers do their thing. Or you might, or just close your eyes and let the radio show, as they did in the golden age of radio, take you on a journey of imagination and watch the story unfold. Either way, we welcome you to take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
Company, makers of Swan, the soap that gives you a wonderful new kind of suds, presents
Our Friend Swan
with My Friend Irma.
Starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect friendship. When other friendships have been forgot, theirs will still be hot. My friend Irma.
You know, people are always getting awards and prizes for outstanding accomplishments. There's the Academy Award for Motion Pictures, the Pulitzer Prize for Best Plays, the Carnegie Medal for Heroism. That's the one I should get. Why? Because I live with Irma Peterson. Now, don't get me wrong. Me, Jane Stacy, I think Irma's a pretty nice kid. It's only that in her mind, there's a vacuum that even Hoover couldn't duplicate. For instance, the other night I came home and found Irma sitting in the apartment with the lights off. So I said, "Honey, why are you sitting in the dark?" And Irma said,
Well, I just made some cookies and the recipe said, when finished, set in a dark place and cool.
See what I mean? But Irma is the least of my problems. I, unfortunately, happen to be one of those girls who is in love with the man she works for. Up until now, I felt I had the field pretty well to myself. But yesterday, Richard engaged a new girl in the office, one Gloria Benson. Ugh, I'm so burnt up I could scream.
Oh, Jane?
Yeah, honey?
When I picked you up for lunch yesterday, who was that new girl in the office?
New girl? I didn't notice her.
Well, your boss really seemed very attentive to her.
He did? Oh, that's funny. It escaped me completely.
She's very pretty.
Really? I didn't even pay any attention to what she looked like.
She has lovely red hair.
That's henna. Henna, because I saw all the dark roots.
Oh, Jane, now you are worried.
Worried? Oh, honey, don't be ridiculous. I should hate to think that I have to worry about some brazen little redhead with false eyelashes and a figure that... She is pretty, isn't she?
Well, just to look at. Don't worry, Jane. You've got a great deal more inside of you than she has.
Inside of me? There's a comforting thought. It may interest you to know, Irma, that very few men go around carrying fluoroscopes.
Well, Jane, I'd hate to think you were jealous. I never get jealous of Al.
Oh, Irma, why do you always have to bring his name up when we're talking about people? And Irma, please understand, I'm not at all worried about losing Richard. In fact, I have a date with him this evening. He's coming over and I'm anytime. Hello?
Hello, Jane, this is Richard.
Oh, Richard, I was just about to call you.
Well, if it's about our date, Jane, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. I'm staying at the office this evening and
Do you need any help?
No. Miss Benson, the new girl, will be there. That's why I'm staying late. I want to show Gloria how we operate. There just isn't time during the day. You understand, don't you?
Certainly I do. And goodbye, Dr. Rylander.
Oh, Jane, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Then why are you chewing your hat?
Was I? It's just that he... Oh, no, Irma! How can you do this to me? I hate him. Men are beasts.
Yes. Isn't it thrilling?
Oh, please, Irma, this is no laughing matter. Richard alone in the office with that redhead. Who knows what could happen?
Yes, she's liable to get your books all mixed up. Oh, don't cry, Jane.
I can't help it.
But don't forget what you once told me. There are plenty of fish in the sea. I admit they won't take the place of men, but they'll give you a hobby.
Oh, Irma, just be still. I know what I'll do. I'll quit. That's what I'll do. I'll quit.
Do you think you should?
Certainly. I've been a blind fool. Well, I've worked my last day for Richard Rylander.
Well, it's your own fault, Jane. You should work nights, like the new girl.
Now, Irma, listen. My quitting is a personal matter, and I don't want the neighbors to know all about it.
All right. What do you take me for? A blabbermouth?
Yes. Come in.
It's only me, Professor Kropotkin. Hello, Janie and Irma, my two little church steeples, one with bats in the belfry.
Professor.
Excuse me. A little joke I picked up from a steeplejack. Well, girls, what's new?
Jane is quitting her job.
Irma.
Oh, don't worry, Jane. I'm not going to tell him about the redhead who's in the office with Richard tonight.
Janie, you're really quitting your job and this redhead is...
Oh, please, Professor. I'd rather not talk about it.
Janie, don't let Jelly see that green-eyed monster get the best of you. That's what ruined my marriage, that green-eyed monster.
Jealousy?
No, my wife. Just a little joke to cheer you up.
I've been trying to cheer her up, too. I just said Jane could get another fellow. Maybe someone like my Al.
Please, Irma, a remark like that is only good for stopping hiccups. Janie, dear.
Oh, stop trying to cheer me up, the two of you. I'm a grown woman. Why should he treat me like this because of some redhead?
What do men find so fascinating about these flaming redheads? I've known plenty, believe me. Their hair may look like it's on fire, but many turn out to be false alarms.
Come in.
Hello, Jane. Hello, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Hello, Irma. Hello, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Look, to me she don't say hello. It's an intuition. She knows I hate her.
I'll talk to you later. Janie, here are the socks I promised you I'd knit for Richard.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. O'Reilly. But I haven't any need for them now. Irma, you can give them to Al.
Oh, Jane, I don't think a girl should give her fellow socks. That's very personal. After After all, that's where he keeps his feet.
But Janie, darling, you wanted them especially for Richard. What happened?
She had a fight with him over a redhead.
Oh, Irma, be still.
Don't take it to heart, Janie. Men are a dime a dozen. Take me. I'm 39.
How's that again?
I've been a widow for 39 years. I'm not much to look at. I'm just an old landlady, but would you believe it? The men still make eyes at me.
Nowadays, a man will do anything to get a room. Believe me, Mrs. O'Reilly, when the housing shortage is over, your own cats want to go out with you.
Now listen, you here.
Oh, please, please, don't get started again, the two of you. Here's the money for the socks, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Thank you, Janie. Come on, Professor. The girls want to be alone.
I'm leaving. And Janie, dear, don't cry. He's making you miserable now, but someday you'll be his wife. And then you'll show him what real misery is like. Goodbye.
Janie, is there anything I can do to cheer you up?
No, Irma, I've reached a decision with Richard and I'm going to go through with it. If he likes Miss Benson, that's entirely up to him. In fact, I'm going to write him a letter of resignation immediately.
Come in.
Hello, Jane. Hiya, chicken.
Hello, Al, honey. What makes you so happy?
Just got the news. They're raising the unemployment check from $20 to $25.
$25?
Yeah. And just think, my mother wanted me to go to college.
Gee, Al, now you'll have real money.
Well, I ain't just counting on that. You know little Al always got a hot deal on the side. This one's absolutely foolproof.
Ooh, it sounds exciting. Al, honey, what is it?
It's a special television set for watching horse races.
But Al, you can do that with any television set.
I know, but this one fixes the races. Hey, Jane, do you think Richard might be interested in investing in an idea? Jane, did you hear me?
Al, don't mention his name. You see, Jane and Richard are not S-P-E-E-C. Al, how do you spell speaking?
Jane, is that on the level?
That's right, Al.
What is it? His folks?
No, a redhead.
Why, the big stiff. Doing that to you, Jane.
Oh, Al, what's the difference? Al, if you excuse me, I'm going to go into the bedroom and write my letter of resignation.
Poor, frustrated kid. You see, chicken, how lucky you are with a guy like me. You'll never catch me running around with other dames. I got my philosophy about that.
What is it, Al?
All dames are the same. To me, they're like pinball machines. No matter how fancy they are, no matter how they seem to light up and glow in the dark, you'll never get your money out of them.
Oh, well, is that the way you feel about me?
Oh, no, chicken. With you, it's different. You're already tilted.
Well, I've scribbled a note to Richard.
Well, can we hear it, Jane? After all, Al and I are your best friends. We might be able to help you.
That's sweet of you kids. It's wonderful to have friends. Well, here it is. Mr. Richard Rylander. Dear Sir.
Gee, that's nice and cold.
Yeah. Dear Sir, I have been in your employ for the past 2 years, and I feel I have discharged my duties rather efficiently. It isn't my fault that our business association grew into a more personal relationship, and certainly nothing I have done could justify your behavior of the past 48 hours, to wit, one redhead. By your actions, I have recognized you for what you really are, an unmitigated, uncouth, unprincipled,
Left out un-American.
unscrupulous Lothario. How's that?
Oh, good, Jane. And you can tell him that for all we care, he can go back to Lothario where he came from.
Chicken, Lothario ain't a country. You're thinking of Rouen, a province in France.
Oh, Al, please. I accordingly resign my position. I never want to see you again. Sincerely yours, Jane Stacy.
Oh, Jane. Gee, you must love him.
Don't be silly. I hate him.
Well, it may all turn out for the best. You're too nice a dame to worry about that guy. Come on, kids. I'll treat you both to a soda.
No thanks, Al. You should run along without me. I'm going to stay here and read the want ads. Here, Irma. You can drop the letter in the mailbox. I want Richard to get it first thing in the morning.
All right, Jane.
Put on your rubbers, chicken.
Is it raining?
No, but I might want to take you to a movie, and them fire escapes is slippery. See you, Jane.
I've got the world Oh, it's you, Mr. Rylander.
Jane, I knew that you misunderstood me over the phone. Well, that's why I rushed over here. I couldn't speak in front of Miss Benson.
No explanations are necessary, Richard. If that's why you came over here for, then...
But now please, Jane, let me explain. Now, Miss Benson is the niece of a very important client that we're trying to land. Now, frankly, she bores me to death, but I have to encourage her in her work, so she'll tell her uncle. And after that, we'll transfer her to the Boston office.
Richard, you mean you didn't...
Oh, Jane, how could you think that? Why, she's engaged, and you know what you mean to me. Here, I've spent most of this afternoon fighting with Father to get you a $10 raise.
For me? Oh, Richard! Richard.
What's the matter?
Well, you don't look well. Why don't you take tomorrow off, and I'll get the mail for you.
I've never felt better in my life. Jane, what's wrong with you?
Nothing. Oh, Richard, what does the sign in front of the post office say?
I don't know, something about neither rain nor snow nor fire shall prevent the mailman from doing his duty.
Oh, for the days of the Pony Express.
Say, ladies, how would you like to be wrapped in mink from head to toe? Well, you can, by winning in the $100,000 Lever Fur Contest. So hurry and enter. Maybe you'll be saying this.
Hello? Hello, Grace? Have you heard about me? I won! Won what? Well, I won a $3,000 mink coat. Imagine, I can buy the coat whenever I want to, or listen, I can have the money. Why, I can hardly believe it. A mink coat. Me!
Yes, ladies, you may be a winner. Here are 1,645 prizes in all, 329 each week. Yes, each week. Those are the prizes being awarded. One $3,000 mink coat, 3 $1,000 fur coats, 5 smart fur jackets worth $500, as well as many other valuable furs and prizes of cash. Here's all you do. In 25 words or less, tell why you like any one of these Lever products. Swan Soap, Lux Flakes, Lux Toilet Soap, Lifebuoy, Rinso, or Spry. Enclose a wrapper or box top from one of those 6 Lever products. Enter as often as you wish each week. The first contest closes Sunday night, February 8th. Entries received after that date will be entered in the following contest. Important, be sure to get an entry blank from your dealer. It'll give you all the information you need. Here's a hint. Sincerity counts. Use your own words. Print your name and address, the name and address of your dealer. He'll help you. Mail your entries to Lever Fur Contest, Box 1, New York, 8, New York. That address again, Lever Fur Contest, Box 1, New York, 8, New York.
Well, this time, little Jane Stacy really pulled off a beaut. Richard has turned out to be the swellest guy that ever lived. And I, like a fool, had to write him a letter calling him more names than there are in the vocabulary of a sailor's parrot. If he ever gets that letter, well, that's the end, that's all. Oh, I'm going out of my mind thinking of ways to get it back before he reads it. Irma,
What, Jane?
how am I going to get that letter from Richard?
Well, it's simple.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, why don't you elope with him tonight, and then he'll have the right to open his mail.
Irma, be sensible. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You've given me an idea. I won't open his mail. I'll just get to the office at 7 in the morning and get the letter from the mailing room before it's distributed.
Well, how will you get up so early?
By going to bed right now. Irma, put that book down. Turn out the lights. Come on, we're
But
gonna...
this book is so interesting. It's all about dreams.
Dreams?
Yes, it explains them. You have no idea what goes on in a person's mind when they're unconscious.
I have a rough idea.
Of course, I don't believe it all. This book says if a girl puts a piece of wedding cake under her pillow in dreams, she'll soon get married.
Well, honey, why don't you try it?
I have, but I get hungry in the middle of the night and I eat up my future.
Well, come on, sweetie, put the book down. Now, you know you get nightmares when you read in bed. Why, the other night you woke up screaming that you were cold. You wanted someone to stop the horse.
Oh yes, I'll never read Lady Godiva again.
Now, come on, sweetie, turn out the lights. This is the one night that I must not oversleep.
All right, Jane, just give me a moment to do my face. Now let's see. Oh, here's a cold cream. Gee, this stuff is so chilly. Why don't they make hot cold cream?
I'll tell them. Please hurry up, honey. Come on.
All right, now cleansing cream, all-night cream, all-purpose cream, beauty cream, and sour cream.
Sour cream?
Yes, I'm hungry.
Oh, come on, honey. Come to bed.
In a minute, Jane. It takes a while to get all this makeup off.
Yes, I know, honey. But I've seen them get the barnacles off a battleship in less time.
Well, now I'm finished. Now I just want to fix these curlers in my hair.
All right. Irma, I'm sure you can do that faster. Every curl doesn't have to spell Al.
Well, I like to keep them on my mind. Well, here goes the lights. Good night, Jane.
Good night, honey.
Do you mind if I open the window?
Oh, no, leave it closed. It's raining.
But I can't sleep with the window
We'll
closed.
try for my sake, huh?
All right, good night.
Good night, honey.
Jane. Jane. Gee, she must have been tired. Asleep already. Now I can open the window.
Oh, Richard. Richard, isn't Niagara Falls beautiful? I can feel the spray in my face. Irma! Irma, the window's open. I'm getting soaked.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. I didn't think it would come in. I'll close it.
Oh, honey, please, will you go to sleep? I must be at the office at 7.
All right, Jane. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, Jane.
What now, Irma?
My foot itches.
Well, scratch it.
I can't. It's on the other side of the bed. You're closer.
All right. Where?
There.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night, Irma.
Good night, Jane. Jane. Oh, Jane.
Wow, what is it?
Are you awake?
No.
Oh. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
But you spoke to me.
I talk in my sleep. Oh, Irma, darling, what's wrong now?
I can't sleep.
Well, try counting sheep.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12.
What happened to 4, 7, and 10?
Those are black sheep, and I can't see them in the dark.
Irma, honestly, if you don't let me sleep, I will scream.
Oh, no, you'll wake everybody up.
Good night, Irma.
Good night, Jane. Oh, no. No, you don't.
Irma, what? Honey?
Get off your knees and stop pleading.
Oh, no, I really got trouble. She's talking in her sleep.
How dare you try to kiss me? I'm engaged to Al, so you better go. Go. Do you hear me, Van Johnson?
Mother. Irma, honey, get up. Get up, Irma.
Huh? Oh, Jane, I had the most terrible nightmare. I didn't know what I was doing.
You're telling me you sent Van Johnson away and asked for Al. To me, that's like sending back steak and begging for horse meat.
Gee, Jane, why do I get these nightmares?
Well, honey, try sleeping on your back.
That makes me snore.
Oh. Well, try sleeping on your stomach.
No, I meant smother.
Why don't you try sleepwalking and get out of here? I've got to get up early.
Well, Jane, take my advice and go right to sleep.
Oh, Mother. Oh, no, this is all a dream.
Who is it?
Girls, it's only me, Professor Proputkin. Let me in, it's emergency.
Oh, wait until we slip into our robes, Professor.
All right, you can come in now.
Girls, I hate to bother you, but maybe you got some pots and pans?
You cooking now?
Who's cooking? It's raining, and the water is coming in through the roof.
Well, did you tell Mrs. O'Reilly?
Don't be silly. She'll charge me for swimming privileges.
Professor, please, ask Mrs. O'Reilly or ask the Martins or ask anybody, but I've got to get some sleep. Good night.
All right, Janie. Don't get excited. I'll tread water tonight.
Oh, Irma, it's past midnight. I'm just getting panicky. If I'm not in that office by 7, my world is ended. Irma Peterson, if you have any love for me at all, please go to sleep.
All right. Gee, I guess I shouldn't have read that book about dreams.
Oh, please turn out the light and get in bed, or Shh, say we're not in.
Okay. We're not in!
Chicken, it's me, Al.
Oh, what is this, Grand Central Station? Wait till we get our robes on, Al. We're not decent.
Jane, don't have an inferiority complex. We're just as nice as anyone.
Okay, Al, come on in. Stay a week or two.
Hey, didn't mean to barge in on you. Just left the boys and saw you late. Hey, chicken, this is the first time I ever seen you with all the junk on your face that dames use when they go to bed.
Interesting, isn't it?
Interesting. If you put a cherry on your nose, you could pass for an ice cream sundae.
Look, Al, it's not that I'm an unfriendly person. I like company as much as the next girl, but not at 1:30 in the morning. Get it, Al?
What are you so nervous about, Jane?
Oh, Al. Richard and I patched up our quarrel, and there happens to be a letter in the mail which I called him everything in the world, and I must stop that letter.
Say, Irma, the kid's got rights. Recognize your predicament, Jane. Must stop that letter.
Well, how, Al?
Only one man who can help us.
Who, Al?
Who else but... Hello, Joe? Al. Got a problem. Joe, who do you know at the post office? Oh, all them guys whose pictures is on the wall. No, Joe. We're trying to stop a letter that's been mailed. How do I do it? You do not wish to tamper with the government because most of your family is with the government. Well, where, Joe? On an island in the Pacific? What island, Joe? Oh, Alcatraz. Understand your point, Joe, and respect your desire not to travel. Good night, Joe. Looks like we're in a tough spot, Jane.
Look, Al, thanks for trying, but if you'll just let me get some sleep, I'll stop that letter myself in the morning.
Okay, Jane. Good night, chicken.
Al, I know my face is covered with cold cream, but would you just like to peck me on the cheek?
Oh, can't take a chance, chicken. Might slip, bite off your nose. Good night, and pleasant dreams, chicken.
Good night, Al, honey. Jane, let's just sit here and talk about Al.
Oh, Irma, will you turn out the lights? Look, it's almost 2 o'clock and I should get up by 6. Oh, how will I get 8 hours of sleep in 4 hours?
Well, you can drag it out. Sleep slow.
Irma, for the last time, if you make one more sound before I tell you, so help me, I don't know what I'll do.
You have my promise. Good night.
Oh, Irma, the telephone.
Yes, it's ringing.
Well, answer it.
It's on your side of the bed.
Oh, all right, I'll get it. Hello? What? Richard? Oh my goodness, what time is it? Irma, it's noon!
I know.
Well, why didn't you wake me?
You told me not to make a sound until he heard from you.
Oh, Richard, there's something I must tell you. You see, the letter, Richard, oh, excuse me a minute, Richard. Oh, Irma, he knows.
Oh, Jane, you're crying. Here, as a Kleenex in my purse. Oh, Jane, look.
What?
You're going to hate me.
Why?
I forgot to mail the letter.
What? Oh, bless you. Oh, hello, Richard? Oh, it's nothing. Richard, no, nothing happened. I just overslept. Crying? Oh, don't be ridiculous. I think the world of you. I've always thought the world of you. I never thought anything different. I'll be right down, Richard. Oh, Irma, you are a darling. Oh, Irma.
Oh, Jane, you kissed me.
And I'll do it again.
I like that. But don't tell Al. He's so jealous.
Ladies, make your bath a real pleasure and a beauty bath at the same time. White floating Swan soap. You can because Swan's exclusive super creamed blend gives you a wonderful new kind of beauty lather for your bath. Rich, creamy lather that cleanses gently, then rinses away so completely, your skin is left fresh, smooth, lovely as ever. Yes, it's the perfect bath soap. Super creamed Swan soap. My Friend Irma, presented by Swan, another fine product of Lever Brothers Company, was produced and directed by Cy Howard. Tonight's script was written by Cy Howard and Park Levy. Frank Bigman speaking. Tune in next week, 1 hour earlier, and listen to the Lux Radio Theater, immediately followed by My Friend Irma. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Millie. Transcribed and created by Frank Galen and starring Audrey Tutter. Yes, it's time to say hello to Mama, played by B. Dana Barrett, and Alfred, played by Marvin Kaplan, as we once again meet Millie. Well, Millie Bronson and her mother belong to that large section of population of New York City known as apartment house dwellers, a group descended from the ancient cliff dwellers. These prehistoric people lived in constant danger from horrible monsters such as dinosaurs and brontosaurs, while the modern apartment house dweller is at the mercy of only one horrible monster known as the landlord. For those of you who own your own homes, a landlord is a creature that comes around breathing fire, which is the only heat it provides. Anyway, that's the viewpoint at the moment of Millie and her mama as we join them. And the reason is that their landlord has just raised the rent $10.
Don't aggravate yourself today, Mama. We managed to pay $55 a month. We'll manage to pay $65.
We'll manage, she says. Would you mind telling your mama how?
Well, look at it this way. If you divide the $10 by 4, it only comes to $2.50 per week.
Yeah, but the trouble is, if you multiply $2.50 by 4, you're back in trouble again.
Mama, I'm surprised at you.
It makes me sick, $65 a month. I wouldn't care if he took care of the place at least. We were after him for 3 years to redecorate the apartment. Did he do it?
Sure he did.
I'm sorry. I do not call hanging a picture of Senator Taft in the dining room redecorating the apartment. Nothing personal against Senator Taft, you understand?
Don't exaggerate, Mama. Something is bound to turn up.
Will you stop being cheerful for a minute and tell your grouchy old mother where the $10 is going to come from?
Now listen, Mama.
I'm waiting.
Well, to tell the truth, I don't know.
Welcome to the club.
It's a problem, all right.
It's hopeless.
I got an idea. Maybe my boss, Mr. Boone, would give me a raise.
Mr. Boone, part with money?
Yeah. I tell you, there's nothing like a good joke to cheer you up.
You said it. I feel much better.
They'll pay the rent. Don't worry.
You know what, Millie? I think your mama's gonna go out and get herself a job.
Now listen, we've been over this before.
I could get a part-time job selling. It'll be good for me.
You know Dr. So-Good doesn't want you to work.
But I can make the extra money so easy.
Forget it, Mama.
Millie, just a couple of days a week. I could...
No, absolutely not. Now forget it. Okay?
Shoot. Get away, pigeons, shoot.
What are you doing?
I'm practicing for when we're living on a bench in the park. Go away, pigeons.
Mama.
Get away, beat it, go home.
Mama.
Oh, pardon me, sir. Can I have that newspaper when you're through with it? My daughter's shivering in her sleep.
Mama, enough is enough.
Okay, you go pace the floor. What are we gonna do, Can we cut down on living expenses anymore?
Well,
Can we cut down any more on eating meat?
I should say not. As it is, when I eat steak, it takes my stomach 3 hours to remember what to do with it. Say, I got an idea.
What?
Remember we once talked about you moving into my room and making a spare bedroom?
You mean taking a boarder?
Well, why not? The landlord said it would be all right.
I don't want to do it, Millie. It's too dangerous.
How dangerous? What are you talking about?
You never know who you might be letting into your house. In yesterday's paper, there was a story about a boarder that killed 3 people in their sleep.
But the odds against that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
Odds, schmods. I don't want to be killed in my sleep. I don't want to go out on an empty stomach.
But it's silly just to be afraid because that must be Alfred Prin's medal.
Just what we needed. I hope he doesn't recite one of his poems. I'm in no mood.
Neither am I. Come in.
Good morning, Alfred.
Hello, Alfred.
As morning opens wide her dewy gates, a quiet sunshine floods the waking earth, as night's cold host dissolves to screaming nothingness. You hate me.
Don't be silly, Alfred. You took us by surprise.
Yeah. Who expects poetry at this hour of the morning? It was wonderful, though, wasn't it, Millie?
Yeah. Inspirational.
Thanks. This morning I awoke full of poetry brimming over. Images and rhymes are running through my head, helter-skelter. It's good to be alive.
Who told you?
I beg your pardon?
But never mind, it's nothing. Would you like some breakfast, Alfred?
No, thank you. Or would you like to hear my latest poem?
Alfred, why don't you come back tonight and recite your poem for us?
No. I have to recite it now while the words are still burned red hot right into my brain. Apology to a Housefly by Alfred E. Prinzmetal.
Millie, hold my hand.
You little housefly I'm saluting, flitting hither, flitting yon. I hate to tell you you're polluting all the food you're sitting on. Don't look at me with pleading eyes. You're too small for me to wash you. Would you like to go to paradise? You would? Sit still, I'll squash you. The end. Well?
Alfred, I salute you.
Oh, thank you. What did you think, Mrs. Bronson?
Sit still, I'll squash you.
Yeah. Isn't that a beautiful last line?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. You know something? I'm sorry that you're gonna have to leave, Alfred.
Just a second. Alfred, do you know of some nice person who might like to rent a room from us?
Millie, I told you I don't like the idea.
Oh, you're taking in a boarder?
If my mother can get over her silly fear.
It isn't silly. Boarders are always turning out to be murderers.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah? Just pick up any copy of True Detective magazine.
Listen, there are a million of fine, desirable people who rent rooms.
Say, how would you like to rent your room to me?
Point killer.
Alfred, you looking for a room?
I'm thinking of running away from home.
Again, Alfred?
What happened now?
Your father insulted you again, huh?
He called you a bum and told you to get out again.
No. This time it was nothing he said to me. It was something he said to my mother.
Oh? What did he say to her?
That bum Alfred better get out of the house.
Don't take your father too seriously, Alfred.
Yeah, he doesn't mean those things.
He doesn't understand my sensitive, poetic nature. He thinks I should work.
Maybe you don't understand him, Alfred. I bet deep down in his heart, he's proud to have a son who understands poetry and music and art and literature.
Yeah? Then why does he keep bringing me applications for the Department of Sanitation?
You handle it, Mama. I'm late for work. Put an ad in the paper for a nice, respectable lady boarder.
Okay. Also, talk to that boyfriend of yours, Junior Boone. If we had him on the premises where we could work on him, he'd propose to you in no time.
You know, Mama, that's a cold-blooded, scheming, two-faced idea. And I'm proud of you. J.R. Boone and Son, good morning. Yes, Mr. Morgan, your order's being shipped this afternoon. You're welcome.
Good morning, Millie.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Boone.
Why so formal? How about a little kiss?
Mr. Boone, this is a place of business.
I know, I mean business.
Now behave yourself.
Hey, that's a beautiful dress you're wearing.
Oh, you really think so?
I might even say,
Oh, thank you. It's a new one. It's made out of raw silk.
on you it'll be cooked in no time.
Honestly, Johnny, the things you say sometimes.
Oh, I'm a rascal.
Yes, you are. Oh, I don't think you'd be a desirable boarder at all.
What's that?
Well, Mama and I are renting out a bedroom and we thought of offering it to you.
Let's not talk so seriously. I haven't had that good morning kiss yet.
Not during office hours, Johnny. Johnny, go away. It's absolutely out of the question.
Darn it, I can't reach you behind that switchboard.
I'll stand up.
That's better.
Now, where was I?
Not during office hours.
Oh, yes. Your father doesn't like it. It's very unbusinesslike, and besides, it's... Johnny.
Dad,
Oh, Mr. Boone.
I was just telling Miss Bronson something.
Oh, I'm sorry to learn that you're hard of hearing, Miss Bronson, but I don't think you should wear your hearing aid under your nose.
Now, you see, Johnny...
I just remembered some unfinished work in the stockroom. I'll see you later.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boone.
That's quite all right, Miss Bronson. I know my boy. He's a chip off the old block.
Oh, so you liked the girls when you were younger, huh?
Yeah, that's how the old block got chipped.
I see, Mr. Boone. Mr. Boone, I wonder if I could take a moment of your time.
I don't know. I may have an appointment.
Do you have one or don't you?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting for the word. What is it?
Well, it's about my salary.
That's the word. I have an appointment.
You know, that man may be married to a woman, but he's going steady with money. Well, there goes the raise. And Junior's not interested in renting the room. I hope Mama's having better luck.
Shrimp boats is a-comin', dancing tonight. Shrimp boats is a-comin'. There's dancing. Come in.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah?
I was just down at the newspaper office when you happened to call in your ad for a room to rent, and I hurried over it as fast as my little legs would carry me.
I'm sorry, but the ad said ladies only need to apply.
I know, and I want to make a confession right at the start.
Yes?
I'm not a lady.
I suspected that.
I'm really desperate for a nice, cool room to live in.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr.
Harris.
Mr. Harris, but I live here with my daughter, and we really want to rent a room to a lady. You understand?
Oh, darn it. Father should have listened to Mother.
Why?
He wanted a girl. Wasn't that cute? I don't get them off very often, but when I do, they're cute.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Harris. I'm really sorry you had this trip for nothing.
Oh, my life is one long string of failures and disappointments. It's really nothing new.
Oh, you look very tired, Mr. Harris. Would you like to sit down for a minute, huh?
Oh, you're very kind. I am rather tired. I was fighting strong headwinds all the way up 8th Avenue.
Mr. Harris?
Yes?
The reason we wanted to rent the room to a woman was so that we could have a nice, quiet, ladylike boarder.
Oh, they don't come any more ladylike than me.
You see, well, that's what I mean. You seem so nice and gentle that I thought that, well, after all...
Would you? I mean, do you? Oh, do I dare hope?
Yeah, I think you can have it.
It must be that fortune is finally turning her face on Herman Harris.
Well, the room is $20 by the month with breakfast and light snacks. $25 with heavy snacks.
Well, I'll take the $20 arrangement. I'm not much of a snacker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, you're going to want to see the room first.
Oh, I can tell by the rest of your home that it'll be more than satisfactory. I'll have my trunk set up in the morning.
Yeah. Well, we'll just take care of the rest of it.
I'm home, Mama. Oh, I'm sorry.
This is Mr. Harris, Millie, our new boarder. Mr. Harris, this is my daughter, Millie.
Very happy to know you, Miss Bronson.
Well, I'm happy to know you, Mr. Harris. Mama, I thought you didn't want to rent to a man.
Mr. Harris is okay, Millie. He's very delicate. Call for my daughter, Mr. Harris.
Mama!
Oh, really, I'll be an ideal boarder, I assure you.
Well, I hope you'll be happy in the room.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Let me give you the $20 so you can don't change your mind.
I'll show you the room, Mr. Harris. I know you want to lie down.
Goodbye, Miss Bronson. I am rather tired.
Mr. Harris, you dropped his card. Oh, well, I'll give it to him later. It's only a library card from, oh no, Herman Harris, inmate, county prison.
Well, it seems that Mrs. Bronson, has rented a room to a very mild and gentle little man named Herman Harris, about whom Millie has discovered an interesting detail. He's an ex-inmate of the county prison. Knowing Mama's fears on the subject of criminal boarders, Millie is trying to keep her discovery to herself and plans to ease Mr. Harris out of his room before Mama learns of his background. As we return to the Bronson apartment, Millie is getting dressed after a sleepless night as Mama gives the new boarder his breakfast.
You slept well, Mr. Harris?
Oh, very well. Thank you, Mrs. Bronson. The mattress was delightful. And may I compliment you on your scrambled eggs? They're scrumptious.
Thanks. It's all in the way you scrump them.
You mind if I smoke my pipe?
Oh, not at all. I like the smell of a pipe. It's so, manny.
I'm glad you like it.
I like aftershave lotion, too. What is it? Bay rum?
No, Smirnoff vodka. I'm glad you like it.
I do. And I'm glad you like my eggs.
I do.
I do. And now pronounce us man and wife. Oh, you probably think I'm terrible.
Oh, no, not at all. You're vivacious, and I like a vivacious woman. They're tiring, but exciting.
Oh, thank you. My late husband used to say I just bubbled over.
You do. You're positively effervescent.
I'll take a chance. Thank you.
You're also a very attractive woman, if I may say so, Mrs. Bronson.
Oh, any time at all, Mr. Harris.
Well, I'll go in and rest a bit. My trunk will be delivered in a few minutes, and I want to unpack. I'll see you later.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Harris. Oh, he's a nice fella. Real observant. Oh, he dropped his card. Oh, I'll give it to him later. Well, let's see. Is it anything important? Nah. Just a prisoner's identification card from the county prison with this picture on it. Shrimp boats is a-comin', there's dancing tonight. Shrimp boats is a-comin'. Prisoner's identification card? Huh. Shrimp boats is a-comin'. Who's to see? Who's to tell I'm done? No wonder he thinks I'm attractive. He's stir crazy. Oh, Millie will be scared to death if she finds out. I've got to get him out of here in a hurry so I can get rid of him. All I have to consider...
Good morning, Mama.
Good morning, honey. Shrimp boats is a-comin', there's a dancing tonight.
What's wrong?
Oh, what could be wrong?
You act kind of funny.
Nah, you act kind of funny too. Something's troubling you.
Don't be silly.
So, I'll give you breakfast and then you'll take a nice walk in the park, huh?
No, I feel like staying home and doing some housework. I'll tell you what, you go for a nice walk in the park.
What's going on here? You're trying to get rid of me?
Sounds more like you're trying to get rid of me. Say, what's that card sticking out of
Give
your...
it back.
Prisoner's identification card? So you know about him?
You mean you knew too?
Sure, I found out last night. I wanted to get you out of the house so I could get rid of him.
Oh, you little devil. I was trying to get you out of the house for the same reason.
Oh, I'm a little devil. You're a big devil. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, but we gotta do something.
Yeah, there's no telling what kind of a criminal he might be.
You said it. He could be another Jack the Ripper.
Oh, I don't think that. He's so delicate.
Okay, so he's Jack the Scratcher. He's gotta go.
Now calm down, Mama.
I'm telling you, it's those little ones that are the meanest. Look at Peter Lorre. We gotta do something. We gotta do something. I'm afraid to live in the same house with him.
Now let's not get carried away.
That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid.
Mama, we're jumping to conclusions. He may be a perfectly innocent man.
Well, maybe, but I still don't think... What was that? Did you hear that noise from his room?
No, but let's not take any chances of him hearing us. We'll go down on the sidewalk and talk.
Wait till I get my coat. Hey, it just occurred to me. We're leaving him alone with all the silverware.
So what? How far could he get with a bunch of knives and forks stamped Walgreens drugstore?
Hello? Oh, hello, Aunt Judith. Yes, dear. It's a new room I rented. Well, I had to. I just spent 30 days in the county jail. Yes. Oh, no, of course not. It was a traffic violation. I sassed the judge. Oh, the things I said to him, Glorioski. Oh, I enjoyed prison. I knitted foot warmers for you and Uncle Stanley. And I made 40 pounds of fudge in the kitchen. It's in my trunk. As soon as I unpack, I'll cut it up in pieces and send you some. Yes. Oh, goodbye, dear. Shrimp boats are coming, it's dancing tonight. Oh, darn. Clumsy me. I pulled the phone wire out of the wall. Oh, my. What will they think of me? I'm always doing things like that.
Is he there?
No, come on in. Now it's decided. We're not going to give him any reason. We'll just tell him we decided not to rent the room after all, okay?
Okay,
Now, are you with me?
absolutely. I'll be right behind the kitchen door while you're telling him in the living room.
Now, Mama.
Listen, Millie, I'll tell you what we ought to do. Just play it safe. Let's call the police and tell them we're going to ask this Mr. Harris to get out. Then if anything happens, they'll know who to look for.
You know, that's not a bad idea. Well, that's funny. There's no dial tone.
Millie, look, the phone wire.
Run, Mama!
Oh, I thought I heard you. Oh, I'm afraid you'll find that the phone wire's been pulled from the wall. I'm terribly sorry. Is something wrong, Mrs. Bronson? You're shaking.
Careful, Mama.
It's nothing, Mr. Harris. It's I just took to my rubber lessons and my motor's still running.
Well, I'll be back in a moment. I have to unpack something in my trunk. Excuse me.
Mama, he pulled out the phone.
Millie, he's going to kill us.
Calm, let's be
I
calm.
bet he's got a body in that trunk. I'm telling you, Millie, he's going to get us.
Mama, don't be silly. Do we have any real evidence that this man is a killer?
Excuse me. I'm just going to go into the kitchen for a knife.
Any other questions?
Mama, now I'm scared.
Let's both get out. You go first.
Okay.
Easy now. Don't let him hear you.
Easy.
Going out, Miss Bronson? Well, my, but you're nervous. I have some tonic you must try.
Tonic?
You put it in your milk. You'll like it.
I prefer it to the knife.
I beg your pardon?
Well, Mama, I'll go down to the drugstore. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you do that, dear.
Are you going out for something, Miss Bronson?
To get cigarettes right down at the corner. Bye now.
Oh, I have several cartons.
Oh,
Here's a pack you may have. It'll save you a trip.
thank you.
Millie. Oh, Millie, I'm afraid you're going to have to go out anyway. I'm all out of face soap.
Oh, yeah, huh? Well, I'll be right back.
Oh, I have several extra bars of face soap, Mrs. Bronson. I'll get you some.
He won't let me go. He's playing with us like cat with two mice. I'm convinced he's got a body in that
Oh,
trunk.
you're probably right. Let's run for it.
I'm right behind you. These are my hands on your shoulders.
You need a third for your conga line, ladies?
Mr. Harris.
Here's your soap.
Thank you.
I have something in the trunk that I'm very anxious to share with you ladies just as soon as I get it cut up.
Easy, Mama.
I'll be right back with it. Don't leave now.
Did you hear that warning?
He's a homicidal maniac.
What a way to go. 1 minute mother and daughter, the next minute cold cuts.
The door was open, so I thought
Alfred, thank heavens. Run for the police. There's a murderer in the bedroom with a knife. What are you waiting
It's
for?
a long run to the police station. You have any donuts?
Alfred, it's a matter of life and death, Alfred. The man's gonna murder us. He's gonna kill
In
us.
that case, I'll settle for crackers.
Alfred, it's no joke.
No?
No, hurry, go.
I'll fly like the wind.
Now, we must humor him, Mama. We've got to stall for time.
Yeah.
Oh, did someone go out?
No, that was the mice.
Yeah, we let them use the front door so they won't chew through the woodwork.
Oh, dear Miss Bronson, you kill me.
Take another look at the program.
What was that?
Oh, nothing.
Well, now I have a treat for you. Remember I told you I had something in my trunk that had to be cut up? Well, this is for you. 2 pounds.
Take it away. I had meat for lunch.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, why, that's fudge.
Fudge.
Of course. Well, I heard of people liking fudge, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, is that what the knife was for?
Of course. You see, I made 40 pounds of fudge while I was in prison. I spent 30 days for a traffic violation.
Traffic. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Mr. Harris, if you knew what we've been going through.
We thought you were a murderer.
Me? A murderer? Glorioski! When I swat a mosquito, I feel ill for hours.
Oh, Mama, I just remembered. We sent Alfred for the police.
Oh my goodness, the police frightened me terribly.
Yeah, don't worry. They'll never get here. This boy we sent never does anything right.
That's right. His body is grown up, but his mind is in diapers.
Sit down. We'll have a nice cup of hot tea.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I'll get the cups.
Don't touch those women, you beast! The police have the house surrounded!
Oh, I feel dizzy. I think I'm going to faint.
Ladies first.
How do you like that? For once in his life, Alfred does something right, and the poor schnook turns out to be wrong.
Heard on tonight's show were Ryan Dillsbury as Mr. Boone Jr., Earl Roth as Mr. Boone Sr., and Bob Sweeney as Mr. Harris. Music was composed and conducted by Irving Miller. Don't forget, next week at this same time, when you have another date to Meet Millie, starring Audrey Totter, directed by Bill Manoff, produced by Frank Galen, and written by Bill Manoff and Joel Kane. Bob Lamont speaking.
Thank you so much for coming to our show today. We're so glad now that you, next time you go out looking for an apartment to share with somebody, we hope that you have some helpful hints to make it a little better. In the meantime, we are well into our 16th season and we're rapidly coming up to our 100th show. So we've got a lot of great shows planned for you in the future, including our next show on March 4th, Sunday, where we're actually celebrating in smart children in Chicago. Basically, who is smarter than a 5th grader? Is it Jack Benny? We'll find out. But for now, let's meet the cast for There's Thrilling Days of Yesteryear for today's show. We have Dave Amato as Johnny Boone and the announcer quartet. John Corona as Herman Harris, Professor Kropotkin and the quartet. Don Gingold as Al, Mr. Boone, the announcer and the quartet. Marty Gustafson as Irma. Julie Rogers-Baker as Mama and Jane. Sean Thomas as Alfred, Prince Metal, Richard, and the quartet. And Leah Ray Witt as Millie Brunson, Mrs. O'Reilly, and Dorcas Furrever. With the lush piano stylings of Terry Tennis on piano. And the effective sound sequences of myself, Ben Dooley. Today's show also was transcribed digitally by hand and directed by Craig Gustafson in the background. And as I said, we will be continuing our 16th season on March 4th. We're right here as Jack Benny takes the quiz kids head on, face to face, in a competition and a battle of wits and, well, you'll find out for yourself. In the meantime, you can also check us out on Facebook or at www.ttdyradio.com. And we'd also like to once again thank you, the audience, for helping our show come alive and for living those thrilling days of yesteryear so that we could bring them back to you. Thank you. Now, unfortunately, we are going to actually request, we have another event coming in here in just a few moments, so unfortunately you'll have to make your way out as quickly as possible. But thank you for coming, and we'll see you in March. Bye-bye.